So traders, what I want to do in today's video is I want to give you a bit of a background story if you are not really understanding about this inflation thing and how it really got started, because a lot of people thinking like, how did inflation actually get started now with money printing compared to the money printing they've been doing over the last sort of 10, 20 years and more? Like, what is the differences and why is inflation not transitory, but also what you can do about it with your investments to capitalize on that inflation. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into it today. Traders, if you need my help, I'm giving away free access to my trading course. It's actually a breakthrough trading course. It's about 7-8 videos long to give you that breakthrough what you need help with. So just go get free access to that, guys. And also what I'm going to be giving you when you put your name and email address in to get access to the free trading course is access to a webinar of mine where I'm going to walk you through all the details to my scanning technology, how I find my trades, what sort of system I trade, and all that sort of stuff as well too. It's a bit of a bonus, so you get that as well too. First thing in the description, guys, go get access to that. Now, this is one thing that I've only recognized only this year, and what is the differences between why inflation is happening now and why it's not transitory, but also what we need to keep watching out for to make sure to make sure we understand this, right? So if we look at inflation, and if we have a look at this here, let's actually... So let me actually bring up the inflation number first. Let's actually go to, actually no, that's not what I want there. I want to go to United States inflation rate. All right, so we can see here, we can see that this is the inflation number here, okay? So here's the really interesting thing about what's happening here with inflation and why this number here was expected, because a lot of people, when I've been doing my videos lately, I've been saying, guys, I really do believe we're going to see a bit of a kick in soon when it comes to gold and that sort of stuff, because inflation is not transitory and gold's going to start to kick in soon. That's why I've been bullish these metals and miners for so long. And if we have a look at gold and silver, Bitcoin's a different thing. I don't know how to compare Bitcoin as an inflation hedge, right? Because it's not a commodity, right? Inflation goes up, so do commodity prices, right? It's a yin and the yang type of thing. But I don't know how Bitcoin is an inflation hedge. Maybe you guys can leave a comment in the description below. But I can't wrap my head around that situation there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how does Bitcoin be inflation? How does Bitcoin go up in an inflationary time, but it's not a commodity? You know what I mean? Like, obviously inflation is going to impact on different commodity prices, right? Some more than others, and so on and so forth. Like, if I look at commodity prices, well, not just commodity prices, but like I have a couple of different cars, but one of my cars is actually a 2015 old SUV. It's an old SUV car, and I'm actually looking to trade up into a much newer car. But I just keep driving that, right? Because it's my family car. It's got 7 seats. It's for my kids and all that sort of stuff as well too. And and I actually enjoy driving it. And it's nothing special. It's just a nice SUV. And I really enjoy driving it. And it's my everyday driver, right? And then I have my beautiful Mustang as well too that I have in my car, and a few other things. Anyway, so the purpose of me saying this is that this inflationary is really picked up big time, because this my SUV that I've got, that's a 2015 model. I actually it was about a year or so ago, I actually started looking, what could I sell these for so I can upgrade to something new. By the way, guys, leave a comment below. I'm actually looking to upgrade my SUV. I'm looking to upgrade into maybe like a Range Rover or like a BMW or maybe even like a Porsche, like something like that for my family car, right? Because I have my sports car and a few other things as well too, and and also my SUV. So leave a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think about what do you think? Maybe Mercedes. I don't know. But I need a family car for my kids and so on and so forth, right? And especially when we're going on holidays, I can pack all the luggage and so on and so forth. So a nice big SUV. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think is the best SUV out there. The few ones is the Range Rover. I also like the Jeep cars. I also like the Jeep, the Jeeps, the V8s, that they look really nice as well too. I think they're 5-seaters, but that's plenty of room. So anyway, guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Anyway, so back to the story of what I was saying before, is that my SUV that I was looking to sell, literally just only a year or so ago, I actually went to look at what it's actually selling for right now on the car sales and carsales.com and so on and so forth. And it's actually literally selling for like 60 to 80% increase today than it was a year or so ago. And I'm just like, wow, maybe now's the time I should upgrade, you know what I mean? So I've been looking to upgrade anyway. So the purpose of me saying this, right, is inflation is definitely kicking in. But let me explain something here, okay? And again, and by the way, guys, that's the reason why, like, when I look at gold, when I look at something like gold here, all right, and then we've got silver price, and why is gold starting to spike now, right? Because the people and the public realize that inflation it's not transitory, and now the public is starting to say, wow, this is now really starting to to come into play here. I've got something going on here. What is this? Let me minimize that. Okay, cool. All right, so inflation is definitely not transitory. So now gold is like, oh my goodness, now that's the reason why we're getting a big spike in gold, and we're really starting to make some moves, because they're realizing that. Right now, as you guys know, right, I've been bullish this gold here price. I've been bullish gold price for that reason. Plus, also technically on the big picture, I was like, this thing's just having a massive pullback for 12 months. When this thing breaks, it's gonna make a bigger move. Right? So we see that happening, and we see inflationary. So why is inflation happening now, even with all the lockdowns, compared to the previous? See, this is where this is where the different money printing is happening, and why this is different this time. And because you look at the supply and the demand, right? The supply and demand. Now, yes, we've got shortages, and yes, it's been very difficult to actually get products over here and so on and so forth, but that's because of not the supply issue, it's because of the demand issue. See, what's happened is the reason why this is going up, this inflation number is going up, and but the reason, because a lot of people's like, oh my goodness, like for the last, let's actually go to like last 10 years we've had no inflation. Now it's actually just gone nuts. Why is that? And that's where a lot of people thought last year, right? Or a lot of people thought pre-COVID, like, oh, they're going to spend all this money and it's not going to be any inflation. That's what a lot of people thought. And I saw this thing play out, and I thought the same thing as well too. So now looking back, what was the mistake? And the mistake was that this wasn't just printing money and putting into the system liquidity to keep things going and et cetera, right? This was literally just giving people money. This was sending checks to the individual people, and then they go out and spend it, which creates what? More demand. Not only is it more demand, but not only do they do that, instead of just the normal printing, right, QE, right, which do the whole QE, sending it to the system, and then that trickles down, right? So like, instead of it, they print money and it goes into the system, right, into the system here, and then trickles down to the person, to the individual. What they did is they got the old printing machine, right? What is? I do a smile. Right? The printing man that looks evil, doesn't it? So they got on the printing machine, but they put it into the individual straight away. This created so much demand, right? So much demand that's the reason why it's created demand for the products. And because there's been a lot more, like, I know for myself, guys, with my business that I have, that a lot more people were spending money last year when they had all these checks, right? Because it generally goes to the top anyway. So it increases these products because of that. But not only that, because they they printed enough to fill the hole of the drop, but what they don't realize is they printed way too much, and now there's about 3.5 trillion on the sidelines that's trickling back into the system, which is trickling back into asset prices and products into the economy. So this is the reason why I've been saying all this time, or for many months now, like, no, gold is a very high probability that we're going to see a big move in gold soon, because inflation is not transitory. It's just not. It's a mathematical game. It's like, you can see here, right? Remember The Big Short with Michael Burry? He's just like, no, don't you see this? This is a mathematical certainty that the housing market's going to collapse. You just can't see it. Well, this is what's happening here. Not only is demand pressing on the, not only is all the money printing now pushing on the demand, right? Because now there's more demand than supply, so therefore prices go up. But they printed too much money, and they actually did this here, and now they're looking to print more money. That's the reason why. That's the reason why inflation is going up. And then on top of all that, guess what? They're not doing anything about raising interest rates and all this sort of stuff. So that's the reason why we're getting this spike here now after all this time, because now the money's starting to really flow through the system. As you can see, we've got the drop here and we've got the money printing here, and now it's starting to make its way through the system. And that's what's happening now with this extra 3.5 trillion that's on the sidelines. That's actually happening. That's the reason why we're getting what we're getting right now in the stock market, right? Because a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, well, the stock market's going to crash." Like, we haven't even we're nowhere near the top yet, right? We haven't even seen the blow off top that we're going to experience. Like, this is just going to go absolutely just crazy. So if I look at, say, the SPY, right, the S&P, this is the reason why we're getting this right now, and why I believe there's so much more to come. Why? Because of what I just said there. So the first thing is that's the reason why I've been long gold, I've been long mining, I've been long, and especially the stock market now for most of this year, because of this because of this situation. The reason, and this is what's happening obviously with the stock market. This is the reason why we're getting this in the stock market, because of the, you know, what we're talking about here. So until they start to put on the brakes, right, with the whole inflationary situation, we are going to continue seeing a big move back in gold, right? So if we go back to gold here, we're going to continue seeing gold continue to see gold make a really big move. We may get a little bit of a pullback, right? We're going to see our trend situation, right? When I say a big move in gold, we're going to see something like this. You know what I mean? Like, just because we get these pullbacks here and a pullback here and a pullback here doesn't mean it's the trend has changed, right? It's a big thing that most people miss is when they're trying to analyze the market. If the market starts to go through a pullback, it's like, oh, the market's going down, the market's going to crash. It's like, but you got to understand where we are in the swing of things, right? In the swing of things, and a lot of people think these pullbacks here are the tops in the markets, and it's not, and it's just a nice healthy correction before we go see a big move to the upside. And you'll notice this with stocks. So looking across the markets, when we look at gold and commodity prices, so much more. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of demand there with all this excess liquidity and savings that are coming back into asset prices and the economy, which is now pushing up everything, right? Pushing up everything. And secondly, the Fed is not doing anything when it comes to interest rates, and they're not putting on the brakes yet. So that's the reason why we're probably going to see an explosion in asset prices and even commodity prices, right? Commodity prices, gold, silver, and so on and so forth. We're starting to see actually a little bit of a bottoming pattern happening here with silver as well too. So we could actually start to see some quite big moves coming out of these markets moving forward. For the rest of this year, maybe in 2022 is now shaping up also. Now, put it this way, guys. If they pass another stimulus package bill and start sending out more checks, this inflation, they are creating the problem, right? They are creating the problem. It's like, here's a whole bunch of money. Here you go. That's going to push up inflation. And then the Fed has got to try to do something to calm down the inflation. Why not just say, you know what? We shouldn't be doing this right now. We need to really, really calm down. Let's let let's let this market start to calm down. Let's start to get back in some equilibrium, and we can start to do this. But no, if you watch Mike Maloney, so shout out to Mike Maloney and his Hidden Secrets of Money, I really learned this. What has governments done in history? Have they decided to shut down things and let the free market take control? Or do they print the currency into oblivion? And the answer is they print the currency into oblivion. So, and that's 100%. That's 100% success rate throughout the history. And that's what I learned from watching the Mike Maloney Hidden Secrets of Money, is that they're gonna keep printing and gonna keep printing and gonna keep printing. And that's where, guys, we're experiencing, and we're going to experience, these guys through here, and possibly even these guys through here, are going to experience one of the greatest blow-off tops in history. And we may be even starting that right now as we speak. So it's getting really, really, really exciting out there in the marketplace. And guys, this is the reason why, if you've been watching me now for a few months, you know that I've been really bullish gold and silver, and I've been like, oh, we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna happen, right? And even with the stock market, I'm just saying, guys, don't fight this market, don't fight it. And it's the reason why, guys, I'm long gold right now. I'm long mining stocks. I'm long the stock market. Why? Because of everything I've been saying, right? So I've got my money where my mouth is right now, and it's important to be able to know this sort of stuff behind the scenes. But not only know it, but capitalize it, right? If you go back and look at, say, the Nasdaq, and we go back to the good old, let's actually launch here. Wouldn't it be amazing, guys? And this is where a lot of people think the top in the stock market. Oh, I'm just doing some analysis here. Oh, by the way, if you look at the actual, let's have a look at this here. If you have a look at the Nasdaq on a technical level, Nasdaq's in this channel here, guys. Whoa. You know what this looks like? See this channel here? Look at this here, channel. Once we break, guys, then the channel, at least on a minimum basis, gives us 18,000. I think that's going to be best beat. If you look at this channel, look at this here, big move up. Let me show you this here, right? Big move up into a channel. Once we break here, guys, it's going to be like Donkey Kong, right? Donkey Kong is coming to town. And if I go back to my weekly chart, so just remember that, okay, guys. Remember I said before, right? Big move up, channel, and break. Now, if I go back to the summer of 1999, and let me share something with you. This is going to blow you away, right? Check this out. Look. Remember the 1999 bubble? Interesting stuff, right? Look at this here. Big move up, sideways. See the channel? Interesting, right? Actually, if I go to here, this move here, where are we right now? We're right here. Right? We are right here. So if we start to break out, guess what's coming? And guys, this move here, by the way, if you want to look at months, that was October of 99. So it was basically on November, December. So this move here, this was a literally this was actually a sort of 3 to 4 month move to the upside. So when we're talking about a blow off top, it's going to happen that quickly. Like, we're going to start to see this happening in the markets. Reason why I am long the markets right now, guys. Bit of a one take, having a sip of a green tea. Today I've got lemon and ginger in my green tea. So this is, I just wanted to share that with you, right? A bit of a technical analysis there. So if we go back to here, right, and go back to our daily charts right now, and let's actually just auto log it. What do we see? The same thing, right? So that's the reason why we could actually see. I'm laughing, guys, because it's like, I'm long these markets, like, bring it on, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just there. And once we break with all this money. So if you're thinking about these markets are going to crash because they're tapering, there's so much push in this market to the upside that, yeah, we're going to get pullbacks like we did here, right? We get these pullbacks here for a few weeks, pullback here for a few weeks. But we're getting to that point, guys, where that blow off top is probably going to be starting real soon. And maybe we've already started the situation. So anyway, guys, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. Just a few things. So a bit of a recap on the sort of a weekend market update for you guys. Firstly, about why inflation is happening now compared to previous printing. The reason why is because actually the money's gone straight into the hands of the people. The reason why inflation is not transitory is because they printed much more than the hole needed at the time. So they printed more money. They printed all this money, but after all that hole was filled with all the printing, there's still 3.5 trillion, and that's the reason why savings rates are still higher than they were pre-COVID, even here in Australia, right? So we are setting ourselves up for not only just an economic explosion, right? Like everything's gonna be like partying like 1999. But we know what happened after 1999, right? Yes, this is the joy of being long the market right now, which as I am, is you're gonna make fortunes, right? Millions and millions and millions of dollars will be made out of these markets because of what the stock market's doing right now, right? But 1999, right? When we get but when we do start to see that big blow off top, and we may be just a few weeks away from really starting to see this thing go nuts for a few months, right? When we see that, right, we're going to see a party like 1999, but there will come a point in time, just like we saw back in 2000, where that thing is going to crumble. So yes, we're going to experience one of the greatest booms in history, and I believe we're just getting started. But that's also going to go inside one of the greatest crashes in history, right? Because you don't have a big crash without a big bubble, right? You can't have a crash without a bubble because it's just not the yin and the yang type thing, right? So yes, we're in a big move to the upside, but we really haven't had a big move up. And as you can see here, right, this here is exactly what happened back in 1999. It's just a same sort of situation we're in right now. And once we start to break, this thing's about to make some really, 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 really big moves. And you can see how that we may just be getting started. This is just a projection on the Nasdaq. So if you look at the actual Nasdaq here, guys, this on a technical level anyway, what you do is you just measure from the channel, right? If you ever see any channel coming up like this, you just identify it, and once it breaks on a technical level, all right, so once we actually break this here, so if we break it there, right, then we're likely to run towards that, say, 8, and that's the reason why I got 18,000 as a target there on the Nasdaq. So there we go, traders. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about everything I've just said there, and I'll speak to you real soon. Hey traders, I'm giving away 100% free access to my brand new breakthrough full trading course. This is 8 videos over 10 hours of pure amazing and powerful strategies. This is my most powerful systems and strategies that I've used for the last 16 years, and I'm giving it away for free. So this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link around here somewhere, a button or in the description or somewhere in there. Click on that and you can go get free access to my brand new breakthrough trading course. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now. Go to that right now, guys. You can get full, complete, free membership access. Go do that right now.